Yeah, I think you got it.
Is it on? Is the audio good? Everything good? Okay, perfect. Okay, listen, everyone, sorry, it's a brand new YouTube channel that we have for our show and a brand new program that we're using to live stream this. Also a brand new computer software. So we're just getting acquainted with the new devices that we have. Everything's going to work out great for the show. We'll be able to invite people, a multitude of people onto our show with split screens, and we'll be able to show videos and everything. It's going to be very exciting. Whoever is joining us, please share this with the various pages and groups that you're part of. We'll reach a lot more people. We'll have a stronger effect. So let me just see. Do we have our people on? Can we tell? It's kind of new that we've been doing it through YouTube exclusively. This time we're finally doing it through, we've been doing it through Facebook all the time. We're finally doing it through YouTube. Hard to tell what the viewership is right now, but it's going to get around. Been getting a lot of messages from people wanting to know, is the show on? Is the show off? Just some technical problems. So the show is on now. As we do with every show, we go over the Parsha for a few moments. What was read in the synagogues last Shabbat. It was Parshas V'Yachi, and it's critical lessons there in the Parsha that I think we have to really take to heart. And once we discuss it, we will move forward and get into the issues that are of serious concern. Also, we have a phone in here. It's a live phone in. So whoever wants to call, you can please call the show with your comments and concerns at 647-510-5535. This is the Never Gonna Show. Zaza, there's, I think some activity there right now. Anything going on there? No, okay. Okay, so for this Parsha, Parshas V'Yachi, so it's about Yaakov, and Yaakov is dying, and he gathers his sons around him. So let me just read the first paragraph, and there's a little bit more to discuss how it actually pertains, in my opinion, to what's going on right now. It says, Yaakov lived in the land of Egypt 17 years, and the days of Yaakov, the years of his life, were 147 years. The time approached for Israel to die. So he called his son for Joseph and said to him, please, if I have found favor in your eyes, please place your hand under my thigh and do kindness and truth with me. Please do not bury me in Egypt. For I will lie down with my fathers, and you shall transport me out of Egypt and bury me in the tomb, in their tomb. And he said, I will personally do what you want. Of course. And then Yaakov turns to him, to Joseph, and he says, swear to me. And he swore to him. Further in the Parsha, just a few verses down, when all the sons come to the bedside of Yaakov, he's going to bless all his sons. And it also says he's going to reveal to them the end of days. And then it says, strangely, that he did not reveal the end of days to them. It escaped him. Some of the rabbis say that the Shekhinah, the divine spirit, left him at that point, so he forgot it. Now, let's understand something. What's going on here? What's going on here? And it should not be glossed over. The Jewish people were going through a severe famine. In fact, everywhere, they're going through a severe famine. And the Jewish people, under Jacob, they left Israel to go join Joseph in the land of Egypt to escape the famine, with the intention, the sole intention, that they're going to be returning to Israel. right after the famine, we're good to go. But what they did, they implanted themselves in Egypt. They got involved in Egypt fully, the acquired properties. It was as if they had no intention of going back to Israel. And therefore, Yaakov, when he says to Joseph, I want to be buried with my forefathers in Israel. And Joseph says, yes. And Yaakov then reiterates to him, swear to me that you're going to do it. Why is it so important he asked Joseph to swear? Is it that he doesn't trust them? Or does he see that there was a descent into Egypt? And it might be important for you, Dad, not so important for us. We're getting on with things. In fact, we're highly successful now here. Life is great. Life couldn't be better. And so when Yaakov is to reveal the end of days to his sons, I believe he's looking at them and he's looking at reality. He's going, this is going on deaf ears. What does it matter if I tell them? Because it's in one ear and it's out for the other. They're interested in the good life, not in returning. Look at the state of affairs today, what we have. And by the way, these are historic times, what we're seeing. With what's going on in Washington today, the implications for the Jewish people. There was just a Senate race in Georgia. A man who calls Israel an apartheid state. And Jews with the Democratic Party call him a great guy. That must be supported. How did they descend to that level? There's more that and that's the Democratic Jewish Council from the Democratic Party that takes that position. Warnock is a great guy. Who cares if he called Israel an apartheid state? Who cares if he associates with all kinds of haters and anti-Semites? It doesn't matter. In the world of progressivism, it's great. He's a great guy and we support him. 10 years ago, that never would have been the story. Certainly 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, not at all. There was more of a consciousness of what it means to be Jewish. There was a story that appeared in the Guardian newspaper claiming that Israel is denying access to Palestinians, claiming that Israel is an apartheid state, that Israel is only vaccinating Jews in Israel. It's such a lie. It's just another level of anti-Semitism. The BDS movement is accusing Israel of, and the term they're using is medical apartheid. Now, the story came out from the director of Human Rights Watch, who had Jewish parents. And he accuses Israel of apartheid. It was picked up here in Canada even by members of the NDP party to reiterate that lie and say Israel practices medical apartheid. Israel leads the world right now in distribution per capita for the vaccine. They're doing great stuff. And who gets the vaccine in Israel? Everyone. Jews, Arabs, Christians, believers and non-believers. Anyone who's a citizen of Israel, they get it. We'll get on to the issues. I'll read a statement that we made last night regarding this. Maybe I'll just read it quickly right now, but I want to go into all the different left-wing, so-called progressive Jewish groups that spread this absolute garbage, including J Street. They reiterate that as well. Israel's health authorities have done an exemplary job of vaccinating everyone they can, Jews, Arabs, Christians, and any other Israeli citizen without discrimination. They have even vaccinated non-citizens who live in Israel and Jerusalem. The Palestinian Authority, which governs the territories, and the terrorist group Hamas has run the Gaza Strip since 2006. Gaza and the West Bank, under the PA, is a member of some UN organizations. It is the Palestinian Authority waiting to vaccinate the Palestinians. It's not the responsibility of the independent country of Israel, a country the PLO wants to eradicate. Also, the Palestinian Authority government has not asked Israel for any help in this matter. These Palestinians in the territories are not citizens of Israel. They're not members of Israel's healthcare system. Better line of questioning might ask why the international community has not aided these Palestinians. Now, we have a statement from an organization that's called the Jewish Voice for Peace. They're a BDS organization. They claim to represent the interests of the Jewish community. They claim to be seeking peace. Jewish Voice for Peace. It's a BDS group. It's a front. And just the other month, they posted online praise of the Intifada. They said L'chaim to the Intifada. Jewish Voice for Peace made a statement on their Facebook page, fixed it for them. Articles touting Israel as exemplary in its vaccine rollout are missing or deliberately ignoring one devastating fact. One devastating lie. There was a headline in the New York Times that they're quoting from, how Israel became a world leader in vaccinating against COVID-19, but they X out vaccinating against COVID-19 and they put how Israel became a world leader in medical apartheid. Badly hit by the coronavirus, Israel has distributed the first of 2 vaccine doses to more than 10% of its population. And then they write in there, excluding the 5 million Palestinians it occupies. A group here in Canada, Independent Jewish Voices. Pro-Israel groups were quick to jump all over MPs like Charlie Angus from the NDP this week for rightly calling out the unjust inequalities in healthcare and vaccine access in the occupied Palestinian territory. But don't just take it from Charlie. Listen to what the Palestinian frontline workers and medical experts like Dr. Mustafa Barghouti are saying. Again, Israel's not obligated for, and they're certainly not obligated to enter into Gaza, unless the suggestion is that Israel has to remove Hamas from Gaza and then vaccinate the Arabs there. Is that what they're asking for? Independent Jewish Voices, they have a program that they're advertising. Join Independent Jewish Voices Montreal and the wonderful Yaakov Rabkin for a webinar on the history of Jewish resistance to Zionism. Can you imagine? What is Zionism? It's the right of the Jewish people to return to Israel and establish an independent Jewish state in Israel. The same rights that everyone in the world has to a state. And they want the Jewish people to be denied that sovereignty. As I mentioned before, J Street in the United States, They made similar statements accusing Israel of denying the Arabs in Judea and Samaria and Gaza to be vaccinated, which is a complete lie. I could use some expletives for that as well, but I really don't like swearing. Joe Biden, as of yesterday, selected as his Deputy U.S. Secretary of State, Wendy Sherman. Wendy Sherman helped draft up the Iran deal, the Iran nuclear deal. Wendy Sherman is Jewish. The government of Israel, and in Israel, that's where the majority of Jews in the entire world live, and the number keeps going up as more Jews move there, and as their birth rate is positive in the United States or in diaspora anywhere, it's negative numbers for Jewish births, negative, total decline. Wendy Sherman, who's Jewish, was one of the architects who wrote up and drafted the Iran nuclear deal. And she wants to force it on Israel. We have a lot of work to do. These are issues that we're going to be talking about tonight. And anyone who wants to call in, call the number 647-510-5535, and we'll discuss the issues. There's one other issue. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about with respect to what's going on in Washington, D.C. right now. With there's all kinds of protests going on against voting irregularities in the presidential election, whether Joe Biden is going to be fully sworn in or not. Donald Trump is definitely challenging that, and there was a little bit of violence in Washington today. Not exactly sure of all the facts right now, but one thing that's clear, that the violence that is taking place in Washington does not even come close to the left-wing Antifa violence or BLM violence that we saw, where there were lootings and riotings and burning down cities. As far as windows being smashed, just unbelievable. And it went on and on and on. And when this was going on, the media was calling this peaceful protests, and Democratic politicians were also referring to it as peaceful protests. So now the media and the Democratic politicians are calling what took place in Washington obscene, the worst form of violence ever in recorded American history, and that anyone who showed up at the rally is a group of terrorists and should be treated as such. I don't see it like that, and I'm not calling for violence, but I do know what the facts are, and the level of violence that took place for a relatively short period of time does not even, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the maximum violence that we saw from Antifa and the left wing supported by the Democrats, I would give this not even a 1. It's something. It's not even a 1. There was a conference that took place just before Christmas. It takes place every year. It's an Islamic conference called the Reviving the Islamic Spirit. A number of years ago, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and other politicians have spoken there. There's been all kinds of Islamic speakers, representatives of Islam that have spoken there. I'm on record taking exception to certain speakers who they have invited. And I don't see, they may have taken heed of some of the people because we sent information on their backgrounds, and perhaps they knew about their backgrounds ahead of time. But one person that's calls for an intifada in North America. He used to be a featured speaker there. He didn't appear this year. That's him, Barzim. But aside from that, and we had some concerns about some other speakers that were coming in throughout the years. But aside from that, there was a bit of a controversy that happened within the Islamic community. That certain Islamic leaders were taking exception to this conference, that there was a speaker who was invited, and he's from the United Arab Emirates, an imam. And the criticism against the RAS conference was that the United Arab Emirates is making peace with Israel. And this particular imam, Islamic leader, has spoken out against the Muslim Brotherhood and has spoken out and has spoken favorably about the West and Israel. So you had a number of different Islamic leaders, personalities, and they even opened up a Facebook page to denounce the Reviving the Islamic Spirit conference. And eventually the organizers of the conference released a statement that this particular imam from the United Arab Emirates is not going to be appearing. They didn't give an explanation why, so we don't know. But that was what occurred. Now, here's the issue. I mean, there's a lot of issues there, but and thank you to these leaders that I certainly, and they're anti-Israel, these leaders, so I don't really have any time for them. But when their criticism is that this imam is taking issue with the Muslim Brotherhood, for instance, that's a concern. I mean, we also have problems with the Muslim Brotherhood. We don't want them gaining a foothold in Canada. And if you have people that are criticizing the conference, I think it's a good thing to have the Muslim Brotherhood. That should be a concern for the Jewish community. Also, they said that this particular imam has been critical, and also the United Arab Emirates, I think they took a stand against Islamic relief, as Israel has taken a stand against Islamic relief. And we have certain leaders in the Jewish community that have met with leaders of Islamic relief. And Islamic relief is on record very bad policy against Israel. So I don't see how it's helpful to the Jewish community for any Jewish leaders to have anything to do with that particular Islamic organization, Islamic relief, on that basis. But I would rather see the focus on leaders, Islamic leaders from United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Morocco, these countries that are making peace with Israel, and this type of Islamic friends that we want to establish positive. So these Jewish leaders should be actually embracing what I just said. And if they're meeting with people that have to do with, for instance, Islamic relief, it's not a good thing. It's not positive for the Jewish community. So we could discuss these issues. You could call in. Please call in. And the number is 647-510-5535. Zaza, join us.
Hello, everybody. I was going to get a sign over here. It's going to say CNN. I was going to talk about the whole rally. It said nothing to see here.
Right.
Just a very, very peaceful rally. Don't worry about it, folks. Oh, the hypocrisy, right?
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, listen, Meir, I don't think it should just be just the Jewish community that should be concerned about the Muslim Brotherhood. I mean, if someone does a research on it, they're a scary bunch. I think many of the groups here.
Yeah, that was the criticism about the conference. That if you're allowing this imam to come in from the United Arab Emirates, and they have taken a position against the Muslim Brotherhood and against Islamic relief, and those are the main reasons why we don't want this guy speaking at the conference, then
It says it all.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting, and that should concern our community 100%. So what's going on in Canada? Is there a Muslim Brotherhood presence in
Foothold or
Canada?
something, right?
Are there organizations promoting that? What Jewish leaders are, friendly with them?
Why are we doing one bringing this
why?
up? I don't get it. Don't other groups, other government officials see what's going on? And why are we the ones bringing this up?
Well, that's right. So, that's the purpose of what we're doing with our Never Again broadcast show, to bring information out to the public. So, we brought the information about. There's the community is in sad shape. That when you have, like I mentioned, I made the analogy with Parsha, how much they're descending there into Egypt. They're really supposed to be going back to Israel, and they're losing the ideals. And and you could really relate to that when you see what the status of the Jewish community is, at least in North America. That when you have the Senate race in Georgia, and you have someone who's calling Israel an apartheid state, and for the most part, the Jewish community is standing by and saying, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
So that's a major problem. Here we have, go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna call.
Can I help you? You're on.
Hey, Mayor, how are you?
Very good.
Listen, why aren't Jewish leaders going against the Black Lives Matter movement?
Hang on. We're just adjusting the volume on this.
Okay.
You came blazing cattle.
Sorry.
Got a strong voice there. Girl. Okay, how's that?
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the Black Lives Matter movement
Yes?
is anti-Jewish, anti-Israel.
Well, the organization is definitely anti-Israel, BDS, 100%.
Yeah, so why aren't more Jewish leaders against it than saying we're going to go help it?
Well, look, we're sending out information all the time. We're critical of Jewish leaders that are promoting that. It's detrimental to our community. It's detrimental to Israel. Why are they doing that? Because they have sunk so low in terms of their Jewish identity that they cannot distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. What they're doing is completely wrong. And we have to keep the foot on the gas pedal and keep spreading the truth.
They're so disconnected. I think they're.
Yeah, well, the thing is in Toronto, BLM is very bad, Brandon murder.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're lying even more than they are in the States here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the cops did not push that girl off the balcony. We all know that.
Right.
But they're allowed to run around marching saying they did.
Right. Well, listen,
I mean,
we, when we get the information, we put it out there, and we hold our leadership accountable. There are certain leaders that are okay, but there's a lot that are not at all.
Majority
Not at all.
are not.
we need to hop on it. It's big in Toronto.
There are, in Canada, I could say that in Montreal and in Toronto, of a couple traditional Jewish synagogues that have a history of great involvement with the Jewish community. So now, and you had, your traditional rabbi that was a staunch supporter of Israel, that would rally the congregation, especially on Yom Kippur, on the high holidays, for Israel. So now, two congregations that I could point at right now in Montreal and in Ottawa. The rabbi now, of both places, is a lesbian. Now, listen, to each their own. You're born one way or the other.
There are women rabbis.
But here's the thing. Now, these rabbis, these two lesbian rabbis, have provided platforms in their synagogues for BDS leaders. One was defending Khalida Jarrar, who's a leader of the PFLP, that has been arrested numerous times by Israel, and the PFLP is a terrorist organization. So it somehow seems that this embrace of the progressive movement must include bashing Israel.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to expose always. It's just a horror
Well, I
that
had a
this
fight
goes
with
on.
the BIA in Junction High Park because they were selling things saying that they were going to give the proceeds to burn, loot, murder. And I got on there and said, they're a bunch of black-skinned Nazis and I'm not giving you money to give to them.
Yeah, there's,
And we had a hell of a fight.
Right.
And I think I called you and you sent them information saying they called for the, the end destruction of Israel.
Right.
And so we got that done. At least they stopped that nonsense. But I was the only one yelling about it.
well, listen, there's lots of work to do. There's lots going on right now, and it's only going to get worse. But while we're here, while we're breathing, we have to speak out. We have to do everything we
At
can.
least we have this show. Thanks for your call. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you very
care.
much.
Bye.
Yeah, listen, we got off to a late start. I got calls from some people before that they're wondering, are you going to have a show tonight? And so right now it's a little different going through a YouTube channel. I don't know how many people are viewing it. Right now.
It's hard to tell. I mean, this is a whole new, it's a whole new setup for us. We got some new equipment that we're just learning, and
Yeah,
obviously we're half an hour late into
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Stuff. Sorry, folks.
people didn't know if we're going to be on, period.
Yeah, we're all
That's
getting messages and stuff. But yeah. So just to jump back on the whole vaccine in regards to Israel, Meir, maybe you want to tell the audience who was the 1 millionth person to get the vaccine, and what he say on live TV, by the way, about Netanyahu.
Well, that was really something.
You gotta
So
watch this.
the 100th person in Israel, the 1
Million.
millionth person in Israel, Israeli citizen, that received the vaccine, and it was publicized in the Israeli media and all that. And Netanyahu went there to be officially there for that, was an Israeli Arab. And all of a sudden, the media started, because the media does not like Benjamin Netanyahu, so they started saying they did some research on this Arab, and he served 20 years in jail for murders, and he's the worst. And you're inferring that he was a terrorist, and therefore Netanyahu, you're weak on everything, and you're just doing publicity stunts. And then it came out the truth of the matter. Truth of the matter that yes, in the early 90s, he was arrested for theft, and he paid his dues. And it was nothing like 20 years or anything like that. He paid his dues, and the media source had to apologize for falsely labeling him as a murderer and inferring that he was a terrorist. And this Arab person, he went public, and he said this is just a witch hunt against Netanyahu to slander him. And he said, and I want everyone to know I'm voting for him in the next
That was
election.
beautiful.
So
That
there
was
you
beautiful.
go.
And Netanyahu didn't know who that was going to be, the 1 million person.
It was random.
It's random, right?
Random.
How do you know?
Just let's celebrate.
Right.
We're doing it as quickly as we can. We're getting it out there, and very nice that here you go, the vaccines. And this goes back to the BDS whole thing, that Israel is vaccinating everyone: Arabs, Christians, Jews, everyone in Israel. Even if you're there as a tourist, guest in Israel, visiting, going to school from abroad, you're getting vaccinated. And this whole new dimension, medical apartheid, what a lie that is. What a lie and what excitement that is. But we're used to that, so we always have to fight back.
It's amazing what they put out there.
Yeah.
The left-wing media. I mean, in Israel, equality exists. I went back many years ago to heard so many horror stories and stuff. So when I was a young man, I went to Israel to find the truth, and boy, did I find the truth. When you see a mosque, a synagogue, and a church side by side, hold on a second. I was told a completely different story. Then you start to really learn. Because I was there for a few months, you really start to learn what's really true. And that's why I have no sympathy or mercy when it comes to Israel haters, because it just makes no sense unless you just hate Jews, right? That's the bottom line, too, right? Because it makes no sense.
Right, absolutely.
Folks, please call in. If you have any questions, any comments, by all means, we're here to answer your calls.
I'm getting messages from people about this. Note, something's happening. I always get a notification when you're
About
live.
our thing?
Oh, now he sends me. It's coming up on YouTube. Okay, so some people are tuning in
Yeah,
late.
it's a new.
Listen, we'll get this,
forum.
but this program that we have the stream live.
Mhm.
It's very advanced, and once it's all figured out, everything will be great. So,
Give us a couple.
I mean, we want to be able to show videos. We want to be able to beam people in
Right.
from all over the place. That'll be good. I think we could have up to 6 guests on a show.
We're gonna start doing
Same
that,
time.
folks, by the way. Last week we had Chaya, I think it
Yeah,
was.
Chaya Rivka, that was great. She was providing
Yeah.
information in Israel. So, you know, a lot
Harish.
of people think that I can never go there, and only the extremely wealthy could go there. But no, we're trying to present some facts that I mean, it's a small country. It's a small enough country, and there's a lot of places to live in Israel that are extremely affordable, and you'll do well.
Man,
You'll be
we're
happy.
in the GTA.
Yeah.
Can you get a, what you said, a 2-bedroom apartment?
Yeah, she's got a 2-bedroom. I think she said 3.
I think it was 3. I think you're right.
Yeah,
$800.
2 bathrooms, $850.
$850. Come on, okay, $850. We're in the GTA. Are you kidding?
Yeah, no kidding.
That's,
And a big
It's
balcony
super
she
big.
has,
Yeah.
and
yeah, you gotta have a big balcony because you gotta smoke your shisha, have your tea at night. You know what I mean? Smoking, whatever.
your barbecue.
Oh, yeah, gotta barbecue. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you know, so what I wanted to say is, you know, last week we brought it in by phone. She called in, anything else. Hopefully one day we're actually going to have, like, you know, her zoom in or whatever.
Yeah, we'll have that, and also
A
there'll be
screen of
there's various agents I know in Israel also. For instance, one who I know for quite a number of years, he lives in Ma'ale Adumim, and I want him to make a presentation to explain, you know, cost of living and
Yeah.
Ma'ale Adumim is like a hop, skip, and jump from Jerusalem. You want to rent a nice apartment there, 2-bedroom apartment, nice, $1,000 a month, American.
It'll be nice to bring in people from different cities, you know, to say, hey, this is what we got going on. This is
And in
the
Ma'ale
food
Adumim,
thing,
there's a
you
lot
know?
of English speakers living there.
Oh,
And
yeah?
obviously, if you want to buy a house there or an apartment or a condo there, you can obviously do that. But I'm just trying to present it to a lot of people that don't necessarily have all the resources
Right.
and
Right.
say, oh, I'd love to do it. Because when we did the last show, I got messages from people. I got some calls from
After the
people.
fact.
Yeah,
Really?
that said, you know, that was hook me up with that woman you had on because I want to find out more information. I like that idea and that. So, you know, that's very important what we're doing.
That's the goal.
Also, we'll have more martial arts, practical
Mhm.
martial arts
Mhm.
on.
Mhm.
You know, 15, 20 minutes to show what to do in situations. Incidentally, today, there was an issue in England, in the UK, in the Jewish community, I think in Stamford Hill, in London, that it was revolting, the clip that I saw, this video clip. You had this one anti-Semite with a stick chasing a group of religious Jews. Now, no one stood their ground and turned around and did what you had to do to this anti-Semite. One guy. Listen, when you see an anti-Semite coming at you, first off, if you're capable, great. Now, if you're with a group of people, don't run. Disarm the person, disarm the anti-Semite, use necessary force that you feel is necessary to restrain the person, the anti-Semite, and take him over to the nearest police station or hold him and call for the cops to come and do whatever it takes to hold him properly. That's what you do. You don't run from anti-Semites. They run from us.
You know, we need to get more people to come in to discuss martial arts.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of things are happening when you're being attacked.
Mhm.
You know, someone has a weapon. You know, someone's got like a bat or a stick or something. When you go block them, you're gonna break your arm.
We want
so,
that.
So right. So you have to start to teach yourself. Like, you know, you look around. Oh, this mic is a weapon. I can block this. I can use it. You know, look around. You know, see what you can use.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, so, but that all comes from, you know, years and years of training and everything else, and that's what Jews need. That's what Jews need.
100%.
You know, man. You know.
Okay, so let's see. We're on for, okay, so it's already 8:30. We're supposed to start at 7:30, got 8:30. We're not going to go to 9 tonight.
But you know what?
So,
I do want to say. I do want to say hi to some people out there.
Okay.
That are from way up.
Go ahead.
Way up north. There's Rebbe the Raptor. Hey, tough little girl right there. The Moroccan goddess. She made us. By the way, this woman made us banana cake again.
Oh.
I was gonna bring it up, but I got very selfish and greedy because it smelled so good.
It's
So,
lovely.
screw you guys. I'm gonna eat it all. Yeah. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people in Vancouver out there. The Moroccan goddess's grandkids and daughter, of course, everybody else. I want to thank everybody. Please share. Next week, we'll do a little better in regards to the technology we've got going on, and we'll have a lot more topics.
Thank you very much. I'm Mayor Weinstein.
I'm Zaza Billy.
Shalom, shalom. And join us next week promptly.